Helium Mobile could be setting up for a mainstream entry today. This could affect crypto in a very big way. We'll break it down for you. My name is Paul Barrow. Welcome back into Tech Path. Before we get into all that, I do want to thank our sponsor, and that is Tangem. This is a place where you guys can start your self-custody journey. It's very easy to set up, and one of the things that it does, I think, better than any wallet out there is it's super secure. Now, it works off of a credit card-like device. It works in tandem with your phone, whether you have an Apple phone, an Android phone, it doesn't really matter. It's very simple to get going. All you have to do is use our link. You can order a 3-card set, which is the way I would go. Just hit that little blue button right there on the top. You'll see that Get Tangem. You can pick a whole variety of them in terms of colors and things of that nature, but use the 3-card set. That way you've got one with you, and then you can secure the others out there and get your self-custody journey on its way. Now today I wanted to bring in a gentleman from the Helium Network, and one of the things we want to do is really kind of explain how this network is growing. Helium Mobile has really started to set the stage, I think, for growth. So we wanted to have Mario DiDio join us from Helium Network. How are you, Mario?
Very good. Hi, Paul. Thank you for having us. That's great.
So I've had Frank on many times. He and I kind of go back and forth talking about the growth of Helium Network, and we're very in tune with what you guys are doing. I want to kind of showcase a little bit of what's going on in the market. When you look right now on the Solana DePIN scenario, these are all the different DePIN chains out there, and I'll kind of zoom in on this right here so people can really see. Helium is now getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So as far as a decentralized physical infrastructure network, which is what the mobile effort that you guys are doing, the growth is definitely happening. Do you feel like this is a effort from the marketing team? Is it something that people are just starting to discover Helium Mobile? Why do you think we're seeing this amount of growth right now?
Well, it's definitely great to see the growth. It's very hard to attribute growth to a single factor. I think that primarily it's two things. At Helium, we've been working very hard on both sides of the equation, both on the supply, what I call supply and demand side. So, we do have Helium Mobile, which is our carrier, our full plan, and lots of effort is being going there for acquiring subscribers. That is accelerating really, really greatly. On the other end, on the network side as well, for people that deploy the network, that deploy our hotspot, for everybody, we have these devices called Helium hotspots. They act like a mini cell tower with people connected to it when you're nearby. We've been working with other carriers in US and in Mexico to bring more and more demand into the network. So on one end, you have subscriber growth on the Helium Mobile side. You have more carriers utilizing the network, hence creating more supply of hotspots being deployed. So also our network, is being more. We have more than 90,000 nodes today. So I think both sides of the equation have been working really well together for contributing to the growth of the protocol as a whole.
Well, I think if you look at just the newly minted Helium Mobile subscribers, this is happening when you see an NFT coming on board. You can kind of see the growth has continued to be up and to the right. Obviously, since you guys started the free plan, I think most likely we've seen the amount of growth. You can kind of see the NFT growth also climbing. And again, this is a huge entry into the space of maybe bringing Helium Mobile into the mainstream. What do you think it's going to take for the average mobile user to truly say, all right, this is an alternative I can use for a mobile device? What do you think it's going to take for you guys to grow into that level?
Well, I think this kudos, actually, I am going to kudos the marketing team and Frank, the work in there. I think that the value proposition, of course, with the free plan, there has been an acceleration into that growth. And I think the value proposition is becoming more closer and closer also to non-crypto native personas. So I think what it's going to take for is more about sustaining that growth, is continuing on the path of making crypto the engine that runs the network, but not necessarily the primary thing for people that join the network. So this is true for both the Helium Mobile subs as well as people deploying hotspots today. We having value proposition for coffee shop owners and shopping malls or restaurant owners that not necessarily are deep into crypto, but they connect with the idea of being connected at all times. So the more this value proposition become easier to accessible, the easier it will be to sustain their growth.
Well, and I think that's going to be one of the things I'm watching in terms of the ability for the network to scale Is there any limitations on how big Helium Network could become? I'm looking at the post from you guys. This is in reference to the AT&T news. Subscribers can now connect with people-powered Helium Network across America. So this is all leveraging the AT&T network. So this will cover quite a bit in terms of expansion. In terms of the deal that you did with AT&T, every cell that's out there that's an AT&T tower, is that going to be in the network now for Helium? Would I be able to use the entire AT&T network the way it's being used right now?
So what the deal consists of is the ability for AT&T subscribers, so people that have AT&T SIM cards, to connect to Helium hotspots. So if your hotspot is in a location that gets selected from AT&T, all the AT&T subscribers around their hotspot, just like I say, like a mini cell tower, will be automatically connected to the hotspot. So yeah, the growth is, I mean, we're just getting started, because if you think about how many, I think it's 150 million or something like that, users AT&T has in the US, compared to the size of our network, there is definitely the opportunity to grow the network to capture as many as possible of those AT&T subscribers. So yeah, this is just the beginning.
Let's take a look at one of the reasons I think that this is going to continue to grow is your referral program. This is, of course, I know is more on the marketing side, but where you guys are doing a refer a friend program, and then it has layers deep within it. So this in itself is pretty creative. Obviously, you guys have done the zero free plan, very creative. We've actually tested some of these free plans, and I was surprised that they work just like anything else. And, because sometimes, hey, listen, free is always questioned. But the idea is that we're probably going to see a lot more users coming onto the network. And I think that in itself is presenting a very interesting, landscape in general. Are you finding people utilizing the network right now? Are they using it as a secondary device? Or is there any data out there that says, no, they're actually using it as their primary device?
Well, I mean, definitely what we see is that with the free plan, it makes it very easy to onboard as a secondary device first, to then port later. So we do have people that don't port their number right away, but being with a free, I actually just had a conversation with someone. I was on a conference just 2 days ago, and the guy in the back giving me the mic, he showed me how he became a Helium Mobile sublet just a few days before, which is always great to see, like, regular people just know about the brand. The Wi-Fi conference. So, but what he was saying is that it's a secondary SIM is the way they get started, because it's easy, and the majority of the device support that. And then once they know that the system works, the network works, then they feel more comfortable in importing the number over. So definitely the secondary SIM, it's a very interesting entry level when you put it together with the free plan.
I think that once Frank starts figuring out a marketing tactic that can get into families, because right now that's one of the biggest growth sectors for AT&T, T-Mobile, is family plans. And
we do have group plans, actually.
Okay,
yeah,
so
we do have
how does that work? Is it the same kind of thing? If I had one primary and you wanted to put 2 kids on as the free plans, would you be able to do that right now within the Helium network?
Yes, I don't know all the fully details about the group plans, as you say. But I'm more on the network side of things. But we do support group plans, and there is the ability to essentially group multiple people under an account, which is, you're right, it's one of the biggest value proposition for people when they connect to a carrier. So that's definitely one of the things that I know Coco, which is my respective on the Helium Mobile side, has been working on pretty diligently.
Let's talk about data credits. All right, and Helium data credits are burned for onboard asserts. So it looks like when you onboard someone, there's a certain amount of data credits that are burned. What is going to be the value of data credits, and what are they?
It's a great question. Actually, I wanted to add there's one category. So we burn the credits, and we'll get in a second, for onboarding assert, but also for data transfer, to actually for fueling the payout. And we actually burn in the order of like almost 20,000 a day in data credits. So what those are is the idea that you use the token as a utility so that whenever there is an action on that needs to be performed on chain, for example, a new user get added, a new Helium Mobile sub, a new NFT gets minted, or a new hotspot gets onboarded into the network, or if if the network needs to pay out a 1 gigabyte of traffic that gets transferred over a certain network, for all this action, there is a buyer that essentially takes AT&T Helium network tokens, creates data credits from AT&T, and then they get burned, creating this deflationary action on the supply, on the total supply of the tokens. So today, in that exact chart that you were showing, there is also we move more than 20 terabytes a day inside our Helium network. Those are, for example, AT&T subscribers, so Helium Mobile subscribers connecting to the network. And so for each single one of those terabytes and gigabytes that get transferred over the network, there is an equivalent amount of AT&T that gets converted in data credit, and then it gets burned. Of course, this comes from the carriers that buy the data on the network. That's the deal that we did with AT&T. And in a way, we at Helium, we act as, on the network side of things, we act as an intermediary between like the traditional telco model, in which you might pay for offload data in a traditional fiat, and we use that interface, and then we turn into the blockchain as an intermediary between these two worlds.
Okay, all right. Well, I think with that, I think this is one of the things that kind of separates Helium from, obviously traditional networks. The growth, though, that could be coming into it. We're watching the Solana Seeker release, which could be happening, any time now. I know Solana's holding a big event in New York City. But if you look at Solana Crossroads, they were talking about the Seeker phone being kind of debuted there, so you actually got a chance to see it. I think it's like 150,000 of these. So if we get this dropped in May and we see shipping starting on the Seekers, this could immediately affect the amount of subscribers. Because if you go back to the subscriber chart, let me go over and pull that up real quick. This is the number of subscribers right now that what is that, like over 150K? I mean, literally you could almost double your subscribers. Now, granted, that's if every Solana Seeker went on to Helium, but I would say quite a few might choose Helium. So that's going to give you an immediate jettison into subscriber growth. Are you guys ready for that?
Yeah, we're definitely ready for it. And without disclosing things, but Solana Helium is built on top of Solana, so there is definitely a strong relationship between Helium and Solana in many ways. And the ability for them to ship a phone and it's directly correlated with the telco space where we operate. So we definitely see the potential there for all these new phone holder to become Helium Mobile subscribers and to utilize the network. But again, going back to what the announcement that we talk about AT&T, even if now you have an AT&T SIM card in a Solana Seeker phone, that will also be taken care of from the Helium network. That's the beauty of this multi-tenancy of the network that we're doing. We are able to capture. The idea is here to expand the network, the growth of the network, to capture as many subscribers, as many people as we can. Like today, there's an interesting stat. I don't know if you saw on our website as well. We touch almost nearly 1 million users a day in the US. We have a million daily active users. Those are people that the network connects every single day. So beyond Helium Mobile subscribers, we are working with AT&T. We're working with another mobile network operator, other MVNOs. So because of all this partnership, Telefonica in Mexico, we're able to extend the reach of the network to touch and have this type of daily active user being our North Star when we evaluate the growth of the network.
Yeah. I'm on your website right now. Cool thing, and we talked to Frank about this the last time, the cloud points. I have some questions for you on that in a minute. Definitely the 3 different plans that are out there. These are fantastic. I actually have a couple of Helium phones right now, and they work the same as regular. I think a lot of people don't believe it when I tell them, hey, this is a free cell phone plan, and they're like, no way. And I'm like, yeah, this is how it works. This is how crypto is going to revolutionize the world. But you look at some of the things that are going on right now in terms of points, because I think that's another killer app with Helium, cloud points. This was coming over from Helium Mobile. They were just kind of showing an example of how you could gift someone something like in this particular case, a Target gift card. And that's something that I think a lot of people don't realize just yet. When this starts to really scale, where users are really earning cloud points, getting the capacity of being able to really grow the network, are you guys prepared for this? Is there a lot of new merchants and things like that coming on? Give me a rundown there.
Well, I mean, you're definitely ready for it. Like, and again, as much as I know that close to probably to some of the marketing things that Frank and the team are preparing, but yeah, the cloud points was I think a very resounding success in the value proposition. I think you're right, because it created this like utility for regular people that not necessarily are in the crypto space as first thought to participate, to get an instant value back from the network. The referral program is also very good for that too. So yeah, I mean, I think what we're probably going to see, we're going to see an acceleration and even more leaning into the cloud points, because we do see a great response from the subscriber base to the value prop.
No doubt. This is another tweet right here. I got access to the Cloud Points panel. This is a good example. We kind of showed it there, where as your points can get redeemed for different retailers. In this particular case, they're showing Target. But that's one that is coming up. I think when I look at the Cloud Points, and I actually wanted to ask you this question. This is one to Frank, because this was a question we had in reference of earning Cloud Points versus earning AT&T. So, and being able to switch between the two. And Frank and I kind of went back and forth of, you need a button. We wanted it to be the PBN button, where you can just say Cloud Points or AT&T, Cloud Points or AT&T. Any kind of development happening in terms of being able to do that?
Well, look, as I said, I think we do see a lot of growth into the subscriber base because of those traditional cloud points and gift card. We always adapt. Our value prop always adapt. So I wouldn't be surprised if in the future that becomes a thing in which you can, decide which one do you want. But in general, we also want to, the growth, the fact that the blockchain is indeed in the background of all this, because of the way the chain work. And even for everybody, I don't know if everybody knows about this, but when you onboard a subscriber, you have an NFT, but also as a free plan, if you opt in into your location sharing, what we call discovery mapping, then there is that also gets on chain, that information. That's actually what enables the cloud point.
Cloud points.
So I think that for now we see more and more of those cloud points, but I can see why in the future, why not in the future, we'll be more flexible towards that type of hybrid models.
What about like V-Bucks swapping, where you'd be able to swap the cloud points? Let's say you have some Target cloud points, swap it for a Starbucks, kind of thing. Anything that I'd be able to do within the network right now?
Yeah, all those things are in the
pipeline,
in the evaluation pipeline to potentially be
I like it.
Yes.
All right, last point I wanted to get to, and that is, first of all, I'm looking at your mascot. This is Cloud Bob right there, and I'm looking at Cloud Bob, and I just can't help but think, this should be a meme coin. This should be a meme coin. I mean, come on, for you guys that are out there building meme coins right now, Cloud Bob is perfect for a meme coin. Why doesn't Helium have a meme coin? We need a Helium meme coin.
I guess. I mean, we're also so focused on creating real value. I think that we leave that to someone else to do it. I think you're right. It's kind of a cute thing. I can't imagine. It was funny because we did create with generative AI like a staff Cloud Bob image, and immediately we got like tens and tens of requests for like buying it on the store. We're like, oh, now we have to make
so the power Cloud Bob merch, the whole thing. Yeah.
The power of Cloud Bob is taking the crypto Twitter by by their own, like really like it. But yes, I mean, maybe someone should do something like that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go, guys. I'm watching your cloud store very heavily, because I think as you guys get more and more partners, just to show our audience a little bit, I mean, there's some fairly significant retailers that are coming online here. You got Uber, Lyft, Airbnb, et cetera. And many of these, some of them are available now. I know some of them are not, but are coming. But a lot of this definitely into the mainstream. If we see more of that, this is only going to increase, I think, the benefit of being a Helium member for sure. Mario, it's been great having you on the show. Thank you so much for coming in. Next time I talk to you, I'm expecting to see over 500,000 users on the Helium network.
Oh, well, we'll be there for that, celebrating. Thank you so much for having us.
All right, it's good
Happy to
seeing
be
you.
here every time.
You bet. Thank you again. Appreciate it.
Bye.
All right, you guys, if you're not in the Diamond Circle, get in right now. It's a great place to get additional content from us. It's a place where we drop not only updates on what's happening here on the channel, but also additional research. So it's very cool. I do a Baron brief in there, which is just an overview of where the markets are going, a lot of the analysis. If you're not into that, we'll get into the Telegram group, because that's where I'm directly communicating with you guys. We also leave a link down below. We only have one group, so don't get scammed out there. Check the video. Always use that link. Follow me on X, @PaulBaron. We'll catch you next time right here on TechPath.